You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This is for Anime Watcher, who says, rant as a response to the video titled How Digibro Saved My Life by Infinite Outlaw. Well, yesterday I recorded a 30-minute rant that was impassioned and emotional, and then I accidentally deleted it when I was clearing space on the camera for the rest of the rants. So unfortunately, you're not going to get the one that would have meant a lot to a lot of people, that was all like immediate in the moment right after having watched it, and was given all this advice on like shit. Now you're getting the short version, but it was definitely a touching video, and it gave me the sense that this is exactly what my content is for, who it's for, and like why it exists. Because I was somebody who, for anybody who has no idea what this video is about, it's about a guy who discovered me when he was 14. He was very severely depressed. He was in sort of an abusive situation at home, was attempting suicide sort of on the regular, discovered my content, and related to me a lot, started to change the way he looked at the world, became more analytical about things and about himself, trying to, think about why he feels the way he does about things, and, just trying to understand himself better and start to better himself. And as a result of all that, at one point, while literally swallowing pills trying to kill himself, thought about me and my existence and vomited them back up. And I'm really happy that I could inspire that I helped you and that you are still around, because I don't want anybody to die. I want us all to try our best to to better ourselves and to be the best we can be. And I'm somebody myself who is constantly trying to evolve. I'm constantly trying to grow, and I've gotten to a point now where I'm making like a much bigger next step in life that I've. So God, I'm trying to fucking remember all the shit I talked about in the 30-minute version of this, but there was a whole part where I talk about the Fibonacci spiral and how, you start from a single point that is you. You are just this one node that, as you try to expand yourself and understand yourself more, there's always an even bigger amount to do to reach the next step, so to speak. Like, the going across like a few lines of this spiral will involve learning a lot of things and growing in a lot of ways. But when you make it to the next one, it's an even bigger stretch in front of you. And I am in a stretch that's of considerable size, and I'm trying to manage all this stuff and sort of understand it so that I can bring to you all that next thing. Because like I'm sort of somebody who is, I guess, charting my journey from a depressed hikikomori with no idea what to live for into becoming somebody who isn't that, somebody who's more than what they were, and who is capable of greater things, or is capable of at least striving towards doing something bigger than myself. And every step of the way, I want to show you my notes and show you how I got there, and help you to yourself figure out what's going on with you. And oh, god damn it, there's so fucking much that I had originally had to say about this. This is the saddest thing in the world. Like, it was literally 30 minutes. And I'll never get it back, because I don't really remember much of what I said. And I could try to say things again, but like I don't. It was it was gratifying to see that I could have the effect on somebody else that art had on me when I was in that place. That for me, relating to things like the music of like even like Linkin Park or Green Day or something, just like hearing something that I could apply to myself made me have that feeling that like others have experienced this and I am not alone. You know, I am not alone in feeling the way I feel, even if I can't explain it to other people or I don't understand it entirely myself, even if it doesn't feel like anyone gets me, if it feels like I'm all alone, if it feels like I, have no visible way out. At the very least, I can look at this art from people who have clearly felt something similar to me and have done something with that. They've taken those feelings and they've made something, and what they've made has helped them to deal with those feelings, you know? And it's not a battle that ever ends. Obviously, Chester from Linkin Park eventually lost that battle. I wasn't laughing because I think that's funny, but because it's incredibly sad. But, through relating to things over time, through finding more specific things that spoke to me, through climbing my way out and trying to take something away from the art that I consumed, particularly like I'm thinking of when I watched Evangelion when I was 14 or Haruhi a year later, and connected with these characters in such a way that it made me think that I want to try to experience the same growth those characters experienced. I want to, fight my way out of my shell in the same way that, particularly like with Haruhi, where, she was somebody who felt so alone and then kind of tried to do something about it, by just, in her case, having to convince herself that she is God, because that's the only way she could take control over her life, was to believe that she was in control of it, so to speak. And that was exactly what I did. I convinced myself that I was like extremely powerful and that I was bending things to my will, and that's why I was able to fight. If I can help you by being an even more down to earth, even more realistic version of that, where you can literally take things that I've done and you can say, Digibro is somebody who feels the same way I do, and he did this, and now he feels better. I'm gonna try to do some version of that, or at the very least, I know that people in my category, we're not exactly the same, but other people who have felt this way have found a way forward. And if I can, teach you that, and you can be inspired to live, then I've done my job, and like that's who I want to reach. That's who this is all for. I'm not somebody who really cares about fame. The only reason I even try to reach like as big of an audience as possible is that I need to make money in order to sustain what I do. But like, I don't make this stuff for the masses. I make it for the people who need it. The people who, are... If everything was going well for you, you wouldn't have to watch Digibro content. I don't think... Not to say that you can't necessarily get anything out of it, but I don't think you need to be spending the amount of time that you do watching my videos, if you're somebody who watches all of it. I can't imagine that you... I mean, maybe you're just bored at work, so, But even then, that's kind of a circumstance where... if your work sucks that much, you're probably not entirely happy with your life, So I feel like I am here for people who aren't totally satisfied and are trying to find a way to fix that, who are trying to rectify something, who, are comparing notes with somebody because they have to win, they want to ace that test of life, and to do so when you have a perspective like mine, where you don't really believe in a higher power, you don't really believe in like a guiding moral principle, you don't really have anything that inherently feels like this is what I'm supposed to do. You don't have that sense of having been taught from a young age what the world is and what your place in it is, that a lot of people have, where they reach adulthood and they know generally what they're trying to do. I'm somebody who didn't really have that, and my solution was to make it up, to believe in myself, believe in what I stand for, and to not let other people tell me it's not okay to be me, to not let other people tell me that, you know, that I have to change to fit into the paradigm that already exists, that I instinctively, inherently don't want to be a part of. The things that I look at and say, I have no reason to believe the things you people believe. I have no reason to think that participating in this system is the correct way to live life. I have no reason to think that, that I should change for you. If I'm changing, I'm going to do it for me, because I'm trying to live within a paradigm that I have found, that I believe in, that I, can be happy within. That there is, I found a vision in my head of a lifestyle that if I was leading that lifestyle, I would be happy, and then I pursued that at the expense of anything else. Like, nothing can stop me, because there's no point to living if I can't do it that way. So I hope that other people can look at that and say, I too am going to say, if the natural cause of following what I'm being told, if the natural cause of participating in the system as it stands is that I'm going to be miserable and I'm going to want to kill myself, then I'm not going to participate. And I'm going to go make my own rules and be my own person and better myself and just do me, and find people who will accept that and only associate with that type of person, until I've reached a baseline where I am complete enough and assured and confident enough in myself that I can then, begin to reach out and to continue on that spiral that I was describing before. Alright, I think I've done a pretty good job summarizing what I fucking said yesterday, so yeah, thank you for the incredibly kind video. I hadn't watched it until the other day. I'd been putting it off because it seemed like it would probably be depressing. But it was uplifting, so I'm glad that I had that effect on somebody.